Introducing GeForce TV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GeForce TV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washougal Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GeForce TV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GeForce TV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GeForce TV racing leagues. GeForce TV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GeForce TV.
GeForce Racing League welcomes you to virtual Knoxville Speedway for tonight's live coverage of the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown charity event brought to you by GeForce Racing Leagues. Tonight is race number 3 of 12 that we will run over the course of 5 different race nights, and we are so happy that you are here tonight with us. All proceeds, of course, for this event go to 5-year-old Lennox Mobley through the Steve King Foundation. I'm Doug Elkins. Jake Fluman is here with me as also, just like he was last Wednesday night. This is the first qualifying heat brought to us this evening by Kreitz Coast to Coast Sim Racing Team. Drivers include Roger Craig, Preston Cranmer, Terry Landis, Joe Backus, John Short, Andy Patton, Gary Taylor, Bill Calder, and Mike Kramer. Well, Jake, we are here at one of the most famous racetracks in the dirt racing world. Should be a lot of fun tonight.
Absolutely, man. 12-car heat races as well.
Yes, we have a lot of them here tonight. 10 cars each made it in last night. We ran street stocks and we did 360 sprints last night at this track. Tonight, we'll be doing late models. These are the super lates with fixed setups. And of course, we'll be doing the 360 sprint cars later on. A lot of drivers familiar with GeForce and a lot of new drivers here, Jake. So it's a nice mix of talent that we have here this evening.
Absolutely, it is. As these 12 cars are going to hit the green flag for heat race number 1, a quick heat race as well. Just only 8 laps, but here at Knoxville, these things got some real long straightaways. So these guys will be able to carry a lot of speed off the corners.
Yeah, I've always called this one of the super speedways, really, when you get down to it in the dirt world. As we watch the action here, Chris Sebeski out to the good start. That's the 21 up the high side of the racetrack. Couple cars looking down low, including the 71 of John Hine.
Chris was leading Michael, then John Hine. Just like you said, the top 3, nose to tail, throw a blanket over, and we got a good battle for 4th place. You got Kenny and Kyle. They're going to be swapping paint here coming down the front stretch.
And that's a big battle because 4 get in. So that's that race for that final qualifying spot. Mooney, like we said, that's what we call it anyway, Kyle and Kenny Miller, the 72 and the 5. And also lurking right behind them is Nicholas Vickery, who could be in there as well.
72 gets crazy loose, a little bit of contact with that 00 once again, man. But this track has so much grip on it. It has not worked in whatsoever. All these guys are trying to cut the track all the way down to the bottom side. But everyone, this is really a one-groove racetrack because we got beating and banging way back there now.
Yeah, I see one of the cars. I think that was Trent Brennahan who actually got down into the wall on the bottom. But I've seen several cars actually getting that left front wheel up over that little berm down on the inside as well. 4 cars to get in. Right now, Kenny Miller's in that final transfer spot as things look like they've shaken out pretty well here with just a few to go in the first qualifier.
Yeah, top 4 making in. And Kenny Miller sitting there in that last transfer spot. Nicholas is on the outside looking in, but he's about 1 second behind Kenny Miller, so he's trying to make some ground up with only a couple laps to go.
Yeah, and with the big field like this, you can see the top 3 margins pretty much staying the same there. I would think, Jake, if I'm first, second, or third right now, I don't want to do anything crazy. I just want to ride it out, although as we say that, here we come for a battle for the lead.
Absolutely. With this Chris and Michael, once again, man, these guys, I'll pull up their last lap time and see exactly what they ran. That 18 machine, or I guess it's number 30 on the side panel of that, but he ran the fastest lap time last lap as a white flag is going to wave.
Well, yeah, last lap here. Does he have enough to get by him? And John Hine, of course, watching from back in third, hoping they might get together and he gets a chance to get the win. They'll hit 3 and 4 for the last time, Jake.
3 and 4. Everyone down on the bottom side. Kenny Miller is the last guy inside the bubble. Nicholas is on the outside. Little beating and banging early in this race. A little bit of contact. We've seen one, maybe two cars spin out or get collected in a little mishap, but those top four moving straight on to the big dance.
And remember, of course, no cautions in the qualifying heats or the consolation races. We will see them later, of course, in the future. But 4 cars are in, 4 more to get in here in the next qualifying heat. This one brought to us by the folks at Gambler Motorsports. Of course, team members on that team include John Hine, who we just saw finish third in that race right there. Connor Ross, Michael Redding was right in the mix as well. Aiden Young and Steven Spies are Gambler Motorsports members. And it's so nice. I like this, Jake, that the teams have stepped up to offer their help in the form of sponsorship tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys have done one incredible job for a very good cause.
In case you missed this, this happened, I think it was almost a couple of months ago now, but young Lennox Mobley was actually in the pit area, actually playing with his cars inside the hauler. And this is something, I know you've probably heard about this a couple times a year. It happens, Jake, but static electricity when filling the race car caused a fire. And I know they're still learning about that. So that's the reason that we're doing this here tonight, is to help out this young man who must be going through an incredibly hard time right now.
Yeah, absolutely, and static electricity, and I've heard a couple of those stories, and dirt bikes as well, and it's just a bad thing.
Mike Schultz will be on the pole, the 34. G.J. Boydell with him. Second row, Steven Spies and Stephen Shaw Jr. Third row, Chase Hess and Jeffrey Barker. Daniel Blau and Jonathan Short are in row number 4. Jordan Hill, Roger Craig there in row number 5. And Brandon Morgan, and Nathan Aldridge round out our field. Another 12-car heat race. And fixed setups tonight. Thoughts on that, Jake? Do the guys like the fix? Do they like to run their own stuff?
Some guys like the fix. Some guys don't like the fix. I'm a personally a big fan of the fixed setups. iRacing, they make them very comfortable to drive, so everyone can somewhat drive them, or can a little bit easier to drive. But everyone has the exact same equipment out there, so we'll just see how everything shakes out.
But people I've talked to have told me too that if you're new, you like a fixed setup race. But if you're a real setup guy and you've got a good handle on it, you want to run your own stuff. It's probably just that simple, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. If you have a really good team too, as they can test and tune all week long, as a green flag on lap number 1 is going to wave.
And they do that too. Some of the teams talked to us about that last night. A couple of cars together way up top, and they'll fall all the way to the back. That ends up being a little bit of a boon for Mike Schultz, as he is now starting to pull away a little bit. We watch the battle for second.
Yeah, I think that was Jeffrey and Jonathan, 11th and 12th place now, but Boydell, this number 14 machine, has a pretty good gap on the field right now. The top 3 are all from Canada. You got Chase and Steven, and then Daniel's right there in 4th place, battling it out.
The Great White North, and they had some snow up there yesterday, so it might be the Great White North right now. But nice run by Chase Hess to get up to second. Stephen Shaw's now back to third. The 55 is Steven Spies. He had a couple of podium finishes last night, so we'll see how he does as he tries to get in. But the guy on the move is Daniel Blau, only 1 spot out, and black number 17.
1 spot out, and we'll jump right inside his cockpit, look straight out of his visor camera, and listen to this throttle as I turn up the volume just a little bit. There's no lifting whatsoever. It's just flat-footed.
I like to hear that too. He needs to get him tear off there and try to see a little bit better. And that's the one reality of dirt racing versus asphalt. And the first time you try to grab a tear off and you're not ready, it can be tough, Jake. That's an art form in itself.
Yeah, I definitely like to pull that tear off button at least 1 time each lap, maybe 2 times. But a fixed setup race, this track is very, very grippy, and it's a 1-groove racetrack early. So being on the outside looking in, you really just kind of got to hope that the guys in front of you make a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, because when you're boarded like that, your floor, there's not a heck of a lot you can do. But as we saw last night, guys, this track will change. It will slick it up. The fast groove will move around. But right now, it's foot to the floor and drive it as fast as you can.
Absolutely, and the top 4 is slightly pulling away now from that number 17 machine. The guy on the outside looking in, moving down a little bit as the laps are winding down. Micah 6, Jordan Hill is running there in 7th place. Brandon Morgan, Nathan, Jeffrey Baker, Jonathan Short, and Roger Craig is out of this race, but this 14 machine has a handle on this race car right now.
He really does. Turning some great laps. Love the Coca-Cola bear on the side. Of course, it's Christmas, so I guess he's going a little bit early there, but we'll cut him some slack on that. Big lead for him as he is going to get the win here in qualifying heat race number 2.
Down turns 3 and 4, the 17 machine made a late move pass down into the corner and was able to sneak away with that 3rd place finish.
Nice.
But a little bit of beating and banging down there in turns 3 on that white flag. And luckily, both of those guys kept it straight, and those 4 guys are going to the A main.
Very nice. Good job for them. They are in. A lot of guys are not. There's going to be some big consolation races tonight. Qualifying heat race number 3 will be coming out next. This one is brought to us by Spartan Racing Team. Kyle Parker, Nicholas Vickery, GJ Boydell, Andrew Smith, Wayne Miller, Lance Ripka, and Tom Taylor, who has actually been sponsoring a lot of events on this series, also is set to go in this race. So what are we noticing so far? It's got to be tough if you're at the back right now, Jake.
Yeah, qualifying is a huge factor right now, and if you did not qualify well, you got some work ahead of you. Not very much passing is going on quite yet, but that'll definitely change in the consolation race and definitely in the A main, as these guys will start slowly moving their way right to the outside wall.
They will too, and that is one of the more traditional lines. I always say it's a little bit similar to Eldora in some of those aspects, as the default lane is usually up next to the wall, isn't it, Jake?
Yeah, absolutely. And here at Knoxville, you can get some crazy runs down these straightaways. Definitely with these dirt late models.
You can see our lineup there: Ross Carinta, Kyle Parker on the front row, Lane Snook, Wayne Miller, row 2, Stephen Gregory and Steven Goldner, different spellings there. They're in row 3. Preston Kramer and Matthew Croak are there in row number 4. Then Bradley Bacher, Chris Whipple in row number 5, and Andrew Ewing and Andy Patton are in the last row. A couple of Canadians going up against mostly a field from Pennsylvania, New York, and the Midwest here.
Yeah, I'm definitely not trying to make that a competition or nothing, but that's just very cool to see that there's guys here on iRacing from all over the world that race that get a race against each other.
And here in New York State, which is where I'm from, Canadians make up a big part of the field at a lot of the tracks, especially when you get up to the northern part of the state over in western New York, near Niagara Falls area. We like to tease them. They like to tease us. We have a good time with it. So they call it asphalt for some reason. I don't know where the H was. I must have missed that on the spelling. But so we always tease them about that too. But we love our Canadian friends. We just wish the border was open so we could see you guys. We really do.
12 cars in the heat race. Andy, sitting there in 12th place, is not going to make the start. So lights on the pace truck is off. We'll have 11 cars for 8 laps for heat race number 3.
As we've seen, track position matters a lot here. Is somebody going to be able to make up some ground and get in from the 3rd or 4th row? We'll find out here in just a little bit as the green flag waves. Carinta right to the bottom side of the racetrack with Kyle Parker. It looks like it's going to be Carinta with the lead down the backstretch.
Drag race down the backstretch as you hear these roar of the engines. The number 10 machine is going to try to hold on to the lead as he goes to the outside wall. And here comes a 13 of Kyle Parker. Now he wants to lead on lap number 2. And he's going to clear him to a little slide job action, too.
Lane Snook going low in the 23. We've got a big crash back there for about 8th or 9th place. Several cars together there, so we've already thinned the herd out a little bit. But 6 cars running for 4 spots out front.
Man, we're definitely 3 wide coming off of 4. We almost made it 4 wide, but Kyle Parker has a lead. Wayne Miller second, and that number 10 machine. He got tossed around, and he's lost 7 spots. I think he started on the outside, or maybe he started on the pole.
On the pole, Ross Carinta was at the start of the race. Now he is all the way back in 7th position. We're watching this battle up front. I'll tell you, Parker's run a nice line here. And notice already here, Jake, the line is starting to move up the racetrack a little bit here in heat number 3.
Very slowly, about one groove up. The leader's running, and then guy in 2nd place. Looks like he's falling in hot pursuit as well. But yeah, definitely off that inside berm.
Car on the outside looking in is Stephen Gregory's number 97. He is 5th right now. Stephen Goldner has gone from 6th to 4th, so he's in the coveted last qualifying spot. That's the powder blue car that you see out there.
Quick time of heat race number 3. He'll pull that up. And it's going to be Kyle Parker with that 19.0. But yeah, 4th place, Stephen Goldner trying to hold off Stephen Gregory in that number 97 machine. Coming off turn, I believe that's turn 2, coming down the backstretch.
I always look for the Hall of Fame. That's how I can tell that it's turn two. I see the Hall of Fame building there, and I go, okay, there we go. We are. And I got to get there sometime. I hear it's wonderful. But Kyle Parker really starting to pull away. I think he's at about a tenth a lap right now on his lead. And yeah, I just saw the latest margin, and he's doing just that. And if anything, Gregory has fallen back a little bit in fifth, so it looks like that top four might be established right now.
Top four is established. I jump onto the gyro cam. You can see how much banking this place has. Not much banking, but these cars really rotate.
I like this. I can watch this in-car all day long, as we saw Stephen Golder, one car in trouble right in front of the leaders. Fortunately, they got by with no problems. But all of a sudden, looks like we've got a battle here as the checkered flag's ready to wave.
Man, I think that lap car may have got into Kyle Parker's way just a slight bit, slowed him up as second, third, and fourth got right to his back bumper. But he's going to capture that checkered flag for heat race number 3 and move on to the A main. But yeah, man, that lap car, he got a little sketchy there.
Went from 6/10 down to 1/10 as they came across the line. So Kyle Parker, Wayne Miller, Lane Snook, and Stephen Goldner are all in the show. Everyone else will head to the dreaded consolation race. But as a matter of fact, it looks like that's what we've got coming up next here. Is the B main. Only 3 heats here this evening. So the B main will be coming up next, and there are 23 cars set to go in this one. How'd you like to be starting back in row 10 right now? That wouldn't be very good, would it?
No, you definitely got some work to do if you are back there in that 23rd spot.
This is going to be 10 laps, so we're at a couple of laps because it is a consolation race. Top 12 are the ones who are going to get in. So this is the B main here for the series as we get ready to go here. Everybody's gridding up right now. Nicholas Vickery, Stephen Shaw in the front row, Stephen Gregory, Trent Brenneman in row number 2, Mike Schultz, Preston Kramer, row 3, Trevor Sheldon, Jordan Hill, row 4, Matthew Croak, Andrew Smith, row 5, Brandon Morgan, Ross Carinta, row 6, Kyle Mooney, Nathan Aldridge, row 7. And I just remembered we were swapping rows on this last time, so my bad on that, Jake. We'll get that right next time. Chris Whipple, Maximum Langevin is in the next row back. Jeffrey Barker and Bradley Bacher in row 9. Bill Bacher, Jonathan Short, row 10. And then rounding out the field will be Andrew Ewing, Cody Castleman, and Roger Craig. And I forgot about that, Jake. We'll switch rows next time, buddy. I forgot.
No, you're all good, man. You're all good. B main.
B main. Let's see, where's our sponsor for that? I had it in front of me just a second ago, and I have it now. That is Velocity Race Design. You want to make your car look as good as the cars you're seeing here. And I've tried some of that paint stuff. I don't know about you, Jake. I have trouble with it. Are you any good at it, or do you have to go with somebody like Velocity Race Design?
Yeah, but definitely Velocity Race Design is where I'll be going to get my wraps. But yeah, that painting these cars are very tedious and time-consuming, and I'm just awful at it.
Yeah, I got one with white with numbers on it, and that's all I've got. So that's all I can do at this stage of the game. So know your strengths, know your weaknesses, right, Jake?
Absolutely.
That's why I'm on the mic and not out there racing right now, too. So there's a reason for that. Again, this is going to be brutal here. 12 cars are going to get it out of 23, so almost half of the cars that are out there are going to be watching this feature along with you as the green flag comes out.
Green flag out, door to door, wheel to wheel, down into turn 1. We'll see that outside lane going to power his way through. That's going to be Stephen Shaw Jr. And then right there in third place, a little up and under move. There for the 33 of Trent.
I like that. And the bottom is still there, as we can tell. But that race for second is a good one right now between Vickery and Trent Brenneman. Brenneman, one of the guys we don't normally see racing with us here in the GeForce League. So big welcome to him, as he's got that thing working on the bottom. He's up to second now.
Absolutely. Gave a little elbow to that 00 car. Now Stephen Gregory wants a little bit piece of this action, sitting back there in fourth place. Nose to tail, second, third, and fourth. And Jordan Hill has a pretty good seat right there in fifth place watching this action.
Yeah, he's got a great view looking out the visor of his car right now. And oh, that's perfect. I love how he went right to it. And there you can see what he's dealing with. He's trying to get low, but if you get too low coming out of the corners, Jake, it kills all your momentum, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, it does. And you can see right out of his visor cam that that bottom side is slowly slicking up, and the entry into these corners are getting more and more slick.
Looks like he's gaining on him a little bit, though. And the other thing he's dealing with, as you can see from that angle that we just saw, too, that a lot of race car drivers deal with, is the sun. Is just enough in your eyes there to play a small part in that, isn't it, Jake?
Yes, yes, it is. And I think the A main, it will be completely down, but that sun will actually get a little bit worse by the very end of this race. But yeah, this sun and iRacing graphics is getting better and better.
That really does give you that realistic appearance, because at this time of day, because you figure this is probably like 7:30, 8 o'clock on a summer night, somewhere around there, the sun is something that drivers have to deal with. Shaw out front, well over half a second over Trent Brenneman, who is doing a nice job out there. Nicholas Vickery, I'm looking to see who's moving up. Andrew Smith's gone 10-6. Ross Carinta's gone 12-7. So there are some guys, and also Roger Craig here, 23rd to 11th. He started last. He's in right now.
Yeah, sitting back there in 11th place, a 16 machine, that Lightning McQueen, that all red Lightning McQueen. He's moved up 12 spots since the initial green flag. And Kyle Moonen has only moved up one, but hey, that's all you need, sitting there in 12th place.
And for those guys, I think the important thing, like for Roger, he's got nobody behind him. So the big thing for him is just finish the laps, don't damage the car, and get your butt into the feature.
Yeah, when you go from the B main to the A main, that's all you care about, is just get into the big dance to the Mac Daddy show.
Of course, we're watching these guys up front, and I don't know if Trent Brenneman and Nicholas Vickery subscribed to that thought, as they're still out there.
These guys spit out the top two guys, and more guys are getting collected.
Ross Carinta came in there. He was running 6th. So, boy, this just shook things up on the last lap, didn't it?
Everything shook up, and everything will disappear whenever they throw the checker flag. So I'm gonna show this replay really quick, as a leader has a huge lead now. I'm gonna try to show this replay really quick, as these guys get all collected, and there they are, and then that guy had absolutely nowhere to go.
That was a hard hit right there. So Shaw gets the win. Brenneman gets in. So does Jordan Hill, Andrew Smith, Mike Schultz, Maximum Langevin, Jeffrey Barker. Roger Craig ends up in 9th, so he really moved up a lot of spots. 15 positions, 8th for him. Kyle Mooney in 9th. Stephen Gregory 10th. Brandon Morgan and Matthew Croak round out the field. So that was a tough one there for a lot of guys, but the field is now set for the late model feature here tonight. All, of course, part of Epsilon Sprint Rats Triple Crown Charity Week here. And again, if you're not familiar with this, we'll be back again tomorrow night. 2 races, 8 and 9:30, and then we've got races Sunday, 7, 8, and 9, and then Monday are the championships for the Street Stocks, Pro Late Models, and 360s, 7, 8, and 9 o'clock again. Impressions so far, Jake?
If that consolation race has any impact on this A main show, man, that's gonna be one heck of an A main show.
And usually, when you have a bigger field like this, it tends to, let's see, what's the right way I want to put this? It's tougher to get in, so I think a lot of times the racing ends up better because the quality of the drivers in the field is a little bit better. So it's going to be tough sledding again for some of these guys at the back. 25 laps is what they're going. And of course, remember, Jake, this is all to benefit a young man who could use our thoughts and prayers, Lennox Mobley again. This happened again over the summer. I saw the movie Rush. Did you see that, Jake, or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, they had some scenes in there from Niki Lauda. Of course, it's a biopic, but the scenes were from him as he was recovering from burns. I know a few people who have gone through it myself, and they say it is some of the worst pain you'll ever feel. So our thoughts and prayers are out. If you want to donate, go to GForceRL.com is the website, and you can donate there. Again, the Steve King Foundation doing a lot to help our situation out here. So a tough situation all the way around, but we do what we can, right, Jake?
Yes, we do, and definitely these drivers do as well, as they're coming out in big numbers. I think last night you guys had, what was the number, 58 or something? It
was in the 50s. I know that for the 360s, and that I think is you know more about this world than I do, Jake. I'm only in here for just a little over 2 months. Are the sprints? Do more people want to race sprints than late models? Is that the most popular in the dirt world, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. The sprint cars, one, they're just a tad bit easier to drive, in my opinion, than these crazy dirt late models. But yeah, sprint cars are, I think, also too in real life. I know World of Outlaw sprints, I think they're a little bit bigger than the World of Outlaw, late models. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because in late models, you got the Lucas Oil and the World of Outlaws. For a
Yeah.
while, they were pretty close. It seems lately like Lucas Oil is ending up with a little bit better field. World of Outlaws, of course, to be able to run that schedule and travel like they do, I can just imagine what the budget must be. And of course, there's the All-Star Sprints, which tend to be more Northeast based. Of course, they all race in Florida to start the year. But have you ever been to Knoxville? You're not too far away from that, are you?
I'm a little bit far. I've never been to Knoxville. I grew up in Oklahoma, so the Chili Bowl was my biggest event, and then the World of Outlaws comes down to Texas once a year, so I get to go watch those guys.
Yeah, and who's the driver? Sam Haferteep. I believe they're still coming out to his track, aren't they, if I'm not mistaken?
I know
Lone Star?
It's right outside of Austin. I can't remember the track name of it.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course he raced with the series for a long time as well. And of course, World of Outlaws did not get in the amount of races this past season, obviously, that they would have otherwise. But I would imagine there are a lot of teams that have some pretty fresh equipment ready to go for 2021, I would think, right, Jake?
I think so, and I think I just read a report that Kyle Larson has just sold a sprint car team
Yes.
this week or last week.
I have mixed feelings on that because it was so great to watch him out there and what he did this year in the sprint car world. I mean, yes, he's a NASCAR driver, and a lot of people are like, well, he should do that. But to do that, what he did against Donnie Schatz and all these other drivers, it really was nothing short of amazing.
Yeah, he won a lot of races, man. Here at Knoxville, no one could touch him, and he had a very good dirt season for sure.
Yeah, we're going to hate to see him go. We wish him all the best, obviously, because the Cup Series is where all the money and the prestige and all of that is. But we had a lot of fun watching him in our little world, so we definitely wish him all the best. And who knows? I'm sure he'll hop in one here and there. Hopefully, the Hendrick deal. Is that 100%, did I see, or no?
Yes, that is 100%. He'll be driving the number 5 machine. Rick Hendrick is going to bring back the number 5, and he will be driving that number.
And if we get Tony the Tiger on the side again, with some frosted flakes,
right?
It'll take us back to the Terry Labonte days and all that. Remember, I was just trying to rattle his cage, right? I wasn't trying to wreck him. I remember that.
Yeah, if we get the old school Bristol back, and man, that'd be cool.
It would be, because I'm sorry, it's just not the same. I don't know exactly what they did, but it's of course Bristol. I was watching one of those races. One of the old ones there from the old Bristol before the walls on the outside. Boy, that was even tougher, I think.
Checker flag waves for warm-up, the 5-minute warm-up. Stefan, number 55, is going to be the quickest, and Steven Goldner is going to be second quickest. But this track really got worked in under warm-up. That sun was setting down lower and lower, as you can see now, and that sun is definitely going to be in these guys' eyes.
And look at the track itself. I mean, you can tell the big difference, especially from those first couple of qualifying heats. I like the angle you got there because you can see that. It's going to get nothing but slicker. Is the bottom going to get slower? Is the top going to get faster? Are they going to be about the same? That's what makes dirt so much fun in my mind, Jake.
And we have a 24-car field.
Let's take a look at them. And this time we're going to do it the way we were, Jake, okay? So,
all right, sounds good.
Chris Sebeski and GJ Boydell will occupy the front row.
Kyle Parker from New York will be starting in 3rd, and Michael Reading, number 18, will be starting in 4th.
Canadian Chase Hess goes inside row number 3, while Carolina's Wade Miller goes outside in position 6.
Chase Hess, the 777 machine. Oh, no, sorry, you just called that. John Henn, number 71, and Daniel Blogg, 17, will be starting in 8th.
Lane Snook, who's not even a teenager yet, on the inside, the 23. Kenny Miller outside of him, as you got a couple of Pennsylvania drivers sitting right there in that row.
You got Stefan and Steven going to make up 11th and 12th place.
Yep, and the next row back, as we see, right there is Stephen Shaw, who will go on the inside. Trent Brenneman will be outside of him, and again, he's new to the series.
Jordan Hill and Andrew Smith, 15th and 16th.
Mike Schultz from right here in New York State. Maximum Langevin, the Canadian, outside of him.
Jeffrey Barker and Roger Craig.
Kyle Moonen, Stephen Gregory, next row back. A couple of guys from the Midwest almost.
And Brandon Morgan and Matthew is going to round out the field here for the A main here at Knoxville.
This is going to be a lot of fun. It took a lot of work just to get in here. The track has changed a lot. They have fixed setups, so they're not going to be able to do anything to change the car for these conditions. They're going to have to adapt their driving, and sometimes I think that might be a little tougher, right, Jake?
Yeah, yeah, it is, and definitely you got a lot of traffic as well, and you just kind of hope for the racing luck as these guys are stacked up, packed up, wheel to wheel, waiting for the green flag, and they're gonna go and shimmy and shive down into turn 1.
I like that. Epsilon sprint reps. Jimmy shining all the way around the racetrack. Right up to the top goes Sebeski as he has the lead. Remember, cautions do count in this, so we're hoping they can get some clean laps in as GJ Boydell runs to the number 2 spot.
Number 2 spot. Then you got a huge battle for third place with Michael and Kyle Parker next to each other. And now here we go. Michael going to try to look onto the inside of J&G there for second place.
That was a nice move, too. I mean, it kind of reminded me of a pass at Daytona. He just pulled that thing out of line. Didn't make it work as Kyle Parker's behind him. But look where they are now. Oh, we got a big crash. At least a couple of cars together. And there is the yellow.
First yellow of the night comes out on lap number 3. I believe caution laps do not count.
They do not count, yes.
So we got a true 25 lapper here tonight. I'll try to pull up the replay. Don't know exactly for sure, but Jordan Hill is showing red. So we'll click on his name and see exactly what all happens. And yeah, they were already stacked up way before him. And Jordan Hill just had absolutely nowhere to go. And that number 1 machine takes a huge barrel roll.
Well, that's at least 4 or 5 times right there. And the last guy drove right underneath his back end. I like that. He got a break there. So, and look at the sun shining off the side of those cars there. Still a factor here.
Yeah, that sun, I don't think it's going to go down. It's just going to get worse and worse as these 25 laps close in.
Yeah, I noticed on iRacing, too, you guys can see the Casey's General Store outside of turn 2 there. I notice it's always that same black SUV driving down the street there. They got to work on that. So.
Yeah, well, they still got this 2006 Pace truck as well that they got to work on.
Oh, that's right. They need to update that thing. Get the brand new Chevy in there, I guess, or the GM or something. So very interesting. But Chris Sebeski has looked very good so far, leading GJ Boydell. Michael Redding has been right there. Also, Kyle Parker has been very fast. And early on, again, no adjustments they can make. There's no wing they can move back or forward. So what you've got is what you got. And Sebeski leading as looks like the lights are going off on the pace truck.
Run it like you brought it. And we're looking off this gearbox cam, and there you go. That little bit of that offset there on that front right tire as these guys get some of that suspension worked in.
And I remember when they first started doing that a few years ago with the bodies. I remember the first time I saw it offset like that. I go, why do they do that? And then I watched them go in the corner and lean over, and I was like, oh, right, because now it's flat when it goes through. So that's a fairly recent development in the late model world as we are ready to go back to green. Good start for Sebeski and already a couple of cars around.
Yeah, huge stack up. Yellow flag is going away before they even cross a finish line, and that sometimes messes up the lineup. And they're still crashing down in turns 1 and 2. But yeah, those guys, it's a single file restart. They go all the way to the outside wall, and they just kind of diamond cut off at turn 4, and sometimes that just stacks up the field big time.
And I would see how that diamonding the corner line would work because there is some brown down on the inside, and by using that, you might be able to pick that up. But a tough break for, do we know who that was yet? I couldn't catch who that was.
Looks like Wayne Miller showing red, so we'll see if it's going to be him.
He was 5th at that point.
And a little slow-mo action. There you go. The 17 gets him right there in the rear, turns him around in front of the entire field. I think he was running 4th place right at the time, and just chaos.
John Hine, the 71, Lane Snook, they both got through there. I love that slow motion. That was awesome. And Hine got sideways after that and still saved it. Wow, nice job.
And then you check out some of these guys back here in the pack as we'll click on the classic rewind button. Don't know. It looks like he's in 15th place or right around there as he tries to navigate his way through left or right. Don't know, but there he goes. He got it.
Or did he? No, okay, I had a feeling that wasn't over yet. I had a feeling, Jake, that one wasn't done yet. So now he's cool. He's on the back stretch, rip that tear off, and he'll be good to go. So not many better feelings for a race car driver than seeing a wreck like that and snaking your way through there. And then, okay, time to regroup.
Yeah, he had a lot of action right before they even cross a start line there. But these guys, single file restart once again. That lap don't know if that lap counted or not. I don't think he did.
I'm still showing 2. Yeah, I'm still showing 2 here at my end. So, and some of these guys have spotters, Jake, but not all of them do. And I would think if you were one of those guys in the back, having a spotter on that one would have been a huge advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys do have the iRacing spotter, but that guy just not the best. But yeah, these live spotters, or some of these guys have some teammates that they can spot for them, and that is one huge help.
And a big thanks to A&J Custom Creations. They are our replay sponsor. They do a lot of the CNC work on the trophies, beautiful trophies. Thanks again to all the guys at A&J Custom Creations. Chris Zabeski picks up where he left off. So does GJ Boydell. As everybody up on the wall. It's like watching sprint cars at Eldora right now. Is everybody up top?
Yeah, that bottom lane is definitely moved all the way next to the outside wall. The top of 3 is riding the cushion. The first car down on the bottom side is a 71 machine of John, as he's to the driver's side door of the 17. Will he try to do a slide job? No, he keeps it right down there on the bottom and coming off of turn 4.
Looks like he's convinced some other drivers that is the line to run in as well. And that is John's modus operandi, I think is how they pronounce that. But that is, he usually likes the bottom. He tries to get the car down there. The other car we're watching is Stephen Goldner right there in the number 30. Stephen Shaw's right there. Got a whole bunch of folks now, because it looks like it's one of 2 extreme lanes right now. Oh, somebody in the wall. That's Hine in the 71.
71 smashes the outside wall, went a little bit 3 wide, then got a little bit loose, coming off a turn 4, and he slapped the side of somebody, but he's fell back. He's back to 9th place. He's only lost two spots since the initial green flag, but he is right back into the thick now.
Oh, caution is out. Something's happened out there, and as we found earlier, and I'll be interested to listen if you want to put up one of those in cars again to see if they're lifting now or not. I would think they would be, wouldn't you, Jake?
I think down on the bottom side they would be. I think the top side, they probably should still be full throttle, but using a fixed setup, I'm not too for sure.
Interesting. We'll have to find. I can't wait to chat with these guys afterwards and find out. We are just over a third, or just under a third of the way there. 7 laps complete in this 25-lap Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown charity event. We've got another one to go right after this, 360 sprints. We'll be back here again at Knoxville in the show we saw last night. They were so fast. I love this replay. Uh-oh, this is going to hurt.
And he is flying up in the air right now, and he got tagged
Wow.
just a slight bit down in turns. I think that's 3.
Oh, no.
Yeah, turns 3 and 4 lands right on that hood, man. And we'll see if he has power for his engine blown up. But man, that one machine, I think it was a number 5 car of Kenny Miller, had. I don't think it was him, but some guy had absolutely nowhere to go.
And that's a tough feeling as a driver. You get on the brakes and there's just not enough time to stop. And hopefully Disney's paying attention to this, and Cars 3 will be dirt late models. That's what we're hoping for, Jake. Okay, so we'll see if maybe we influence that tonight, right?
yeah. If we have any influence on Disney, that would be our influence, is some dirt late models. Absolutely. Turn right to go left.
Yeah, exactly. It's right there. It was already in the first one. Now we just take it to the third one, and we could even put a Hudson Hornet lookalike in the race just for fun. So looks like the lights have gone off. So next time they will go green. Sebeski, Boydell, Redding, Parker, and Blau are your top 5. Spies, Shaw Jr., Goldner, Hine, and the youngster Lane Snook round out 6 through 10.
Single file restart. 24 car field. Very big field here tonight. Looking at the unofficially the hard charger, there's Stephen Shaw Jr. sitting there in 7th place. He's moved up 6 spots. Has a very clean car on that number 96. And then you got Kyle back there in 13th. He's moved up 8, but these guys getting ready to rock and roll, and he's gonna diamond cut off at turn 4, take the green flag for lap at number 8.
Boy, he's been getting some great restarts, hasn't he? And he got another one right there, half a second, and they're not even out of turn 2 just yet. Watching the race for second between Boydell and Redding.
Redding does a little slide job down in turns 1 and 2, and he's going to capture 2nd place for right now, as Boydell is trying to get back to his back bumper. We'll see if he repays a favor down in turns 1 and 2, and he's not going to ride that cushion. But man, we got a good battle back here for 4th, 5th, 6th spot.
And yellow has flown again as caution is out. I believe that's the 4th time. We are 9 laps in to this 25-lap race, 36% through so far, as the field will slow down and bunch up once again. Did you catch anything there, Jake?
Let's look at this pass for 2nd place right here as they take the green flag, and there you see Boydell go all the way down to the inside.
Wow.
And just slide this thing up right in front of that nose of that number 14 machine. And see how much he was actually clear by. If I can, there it is.
I don't even
Barely got him, and then he tried to do the little crossover move.
I don't even think he had to lift there. Now that's a proper slide job for those of you guys at home who are wondering if the guy you're passing has to slam on the brakes to miss you, then that's not an approved slide job. But that was a darn good one, and you have to give Boydell credit because he was ready for it. It went right back down to the inside, and when we watched the sprints here last night, Jake, I mean that was the number one move we saw. One slide job, right back to another.
And here's what brought out the yellow. The 28 gets tagged right in the back bumper as the 16 was coming right off that outside wall, going back down to the bottom. But he just does a complete 360 down turns 4, and yellow flag waved.
That was nice. I almost wonder if they could have kept going on that one, but that's an iRacing thing. But a nice 360 there. By the way, we have to give the driver a lot of credit for that one right there. That's Jordan Hill, who was able to pull that off. I don't know about you, Jake, but I always think that's one of the coolest things. When a guy gets taken out like that, completes the 360 and drives right off, it's like, nice try, but you didn't quite get me.
Yeah, it's very cool. Some of these guys can do 720s and just keep going straight with it. So very cool.
And it's amazing with the sprints because that's an in and out box. There's no clutch or anything there, so I'm always amazed that they can do that. But we are ready to go back to racing. 9 laps complete. Of course, this is race number 3 of the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown charity event. Be back with another one here right after this, but we still got a lot of racing to go as we're back to green and already trouble off the start.
Now I jumped right inside the cockpit of the guy that's sitting there in 10th place. That's going to be Trent, as he had to avoid some big wrecks right there in front of him. And he's moved up to 7th spot as a yellow flag is going away, but he gained 3 spots before the start-finish line.
I love the fact that he's wearing those yellow and black gloves too, because you can see how busy these drivers truly are in these cars. I mean, you watch a NASCAR race and they go to the inside, sometimes you can barely see them moving their hands, Jake, but we're here. You better be ready because you need quick hands to get around these racetracks.
Brandon Morgan is the first guy showing red up on the program. We'll see if, I don't think he caused the yellow. Here we go, right here.
Ooh.
We'll see if this is the reason for the yellow. I think the 5th yellow of the night, and the second one from right off the start. And there you go, just already bunched up, and one guy, I don't know if he went or not, but stacked up the field.
Yeah, because I caught where you are right now. I caught the slower car on the bottom, but I didn't catch anything that happened before that. So now we know exactly what happened. So having a little trouble getting some laps in as we are 10 laps in, 15 to go. Race number 3 of the week for the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown charity event. And again, thanks to all the drivers. They paid extra entry fees to get in here tonight. And a lot of them came together to do some extra sponsorships as well. And again, A&G Custom Creations helping us out with the replay. So thanks to everybody.
A little race information here at Knoxville Raceway. Track length is a half a mile, 0.51. 71 is the temperature here, and altitude is 922 feet.
And even though it doesn't look at the ends are a little bit different, aren't they, Jake? Just slightly.
Just slightly bit different, but coming off these corners, I think Knoxville has the best turn-offs out there.
And unlike a lot of flat tracks, there are 2 very distinct grooves here as well. So they really did a nice job putting this facility together, one of the raciest tracks around. And sometimes I still think, Jake, it seems like it's a little bigger than a half mile, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. With these long straightaways, it definitely feels a little bit longer than a half mile, but very big racetrack and very wide turns as these guys stand on the loud pedal once again on lap number 10. And Chris is going to take the green flag.
Did not get the start that he had another slide job here for the lead, as we may have a new leader down the backstretch. Not yet. They're going to race side by side through the corner.
And that's going to be Michael. Now he made that pass on that last green flag as well to capture 2nd place, and he may have first as they beat and bang doors coming across the line once again.
Didn't get it that time as Sebeski was able to get back by and keep the lead. Got a slower car in the bottom, but he's staying out of the way, so they'll keep racing as we work here on lap number 12, and we'll see if Redding can run down Sebeski again.
Boydell is smashing the wall. He did in turns 1 and 2, then he did in turns 3 and 4, and now he has company with Kyle Parker right to his inside down in turns 1 and 2. Will he be able to slide up right in front of Boydell. No, he won't. Boydell will show his muscle as he drag race down the backstretch down turns 3 and 4. But Kyle Parker is still holding his line, and Boydell smashes the wall, and 17 gets him to the side of him.
Boy, that's some good 3-wide racing right there. More contact again as they head down into turn number 1. Daniel Blau is the driver in that 17. The only guy trying to make that middle work as they get things straightened down. And on the bottom, it looks like Spies will pick up a position up to 5th.
Kyle Parker now has 3rd, uncontested. But then right after that, they're 2x2 with the yellow flag waving.
14 laps complete, 11 to go. I believe that's caution number 6. As the caution flag has gotten a little bit of a workout here tonight. Fast mover up top, Steven Spies has picked up 6 spots. He's gone 11 to 5th. Stephen Golder, 12th to 7th. And also Trent Brenneman, 14th to 8th. They've been your big movers inside the top 10.
Track is changing, and you definitely see that battle for that 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th place, man. Those guys were running about the exact same lap times, and maybe they were even stacking up.
And I wonder in a situation like this with the fixed setups of the track getting slicker like it is, how much the driver really can do to make up positions. It's more like, at least it seems to me, Jake, like you got to wait for somebody to make a mistake.
Yeah, it's either that or you do what this Michael guy is doing, sitting there in 2nd place, just throw some slide jobs and hope for the best. But the top line is definitely the fastest way around. As you see, the top line still has plenty of grip. The bottom side is completely slicked off, but man, that's definitely what you want if you want to throw some sliders. And Knoxville Raceway, definitely wide enough to do that.
Yeah, that's one of the tracks that's known for that being one of the suggested ways to actually make passes here. Sebeski, again, he's led every lap, but on the last restart, Michael Redding was able to get him. I was a little surprised there as I think we're riding along with Michael Redding here as he is right on the race leader. I love that shot right there. That looks great.
Yeah, you check out all that suspension, the transmission case, the back bumpers, the wrinkles and fender benders, and all the paint. It's absolutely fun, man. The iRacing community and the GeForce Racing League is a blast. As he is right to the back bumper of him.
I know it's nice of Michael to give us this view. He must have known we were looking and got nice and close. Coil over suspension there as well. So, and those panels, or those little supports that hold up the body panels, are designed to bend so that it doesn't do anything to the chassis. So here we go. Green flag back out for Sebeski. He got a better start that time, didn't he?
Yeah, Sebeski has a lot better start. Now Kyle Parker is putting a little bit of pressure on Michael Reading. They're in 2nd place as they just touch a little bit, and then here comes Stefan. He comes out of nowhere. He wants a little bit of battle. That number 55 machine down on the bottom side.
And he's making that work. Steven Spies down there. Is he actually being scored in 3rd? Yes, he is, down on the inside of Kyle Parker. And behind them, Stephen Golder's now moved up a little bit as the caution is out once again.
Once these guys get back to full song, gets racing in on the caution, is going to wave once again for the 7th time for the A main show. Track is definitely slicked off, and we'll try to pull this replay. And Andrew Smith is showing red. We'll see if it's Andrew Smith or not. And yes, that wrong camera angle, but I think stuff was already stacking up there in front of him, and he just had absolutely nowhere to go.
Again, thanks to A&G Custom Creations for their sponsorship of our replays here tonight. Let's see if we can catch something from a different angle here.
Yeah, I think one car just got loose and down there on the bottom, and then these guys just freight trained right into it.
Not a hard crash, shouldn't have caused a lot of damage there. So everybody okay, as we have just 9 laps left to go in the first of 2 big features here tonight. Big thanks for all of you guys for tuning us in. And when, again, we're thinking about young Lennox Mobley here, the Steve King Foundation is through all this is going through. They're a 501c3, so it's done right. GForceRL.com is how you can help if you're in any position where you're able to do so.
Right after this is the 360s right here at Knoxville Raceway.
And again, if last night's show is any indication of what we're going to see today, you guys are going to really want to stick around and see that the sprints are so fast on this racetrack. And they'll be running 15-second lap time, somewhere right around in that range. And for a half-mile track, that is hauling the mail.
Yeah, the sprints, these dirt late models versus sprints, they run a lot different here on iRacing, but definitely the high groove is going to be the way, but you can really make that bottom side work in the 360s. But lap 16 of 25, we're just shy of 20 minutes, and Chris is going to take the green flag once again.
And Steven Spies, the driver who's in third there, was the driver who went low and was trying to make that work. And there he goes again. Let's see if he can get it this time as he comes off the corner with the Sprint Car Hall of Fame in the background in turn 2.
Trying to put all that power down to the rear wheels. This Michael is going to slam the door as our leader. May have just tagged the wall, and now he is way under pressure for second and third place. But Steppen is going to grab second place for right now.
And that was all on his own. There was nobody there. He just got up into the wall, and a lot of times you hit that wall. He did the front rear tail slap on that one, and that's opened up the bottom for Spies. Let's see if he gets the runoff this time. He's not going to get him, but this is a heck of a battle out front. Actually, Spies scored as the leader that time.
Door to door, wheel to wheel, shimming and shiving down into turn 1 with 6 laps to go. And the yellow flag is going to wave just at the most perfect time for Steppen to grab his 10th spot of the initial green flag, and I believe he's going to be our leader. But I'm not for sure.
John Hine was one of the cars that was involved, and one of either him or another guy got around, and then they just started piling in positions about 8, 9, 10, 11, somewhere in that range is where that was. So, and give Spies a lot of credit. He started this race at 11th, okay? So he's been able to make up 9 spots in 19 laps. Good job here so far for him.
Yep, 9 spots, and like we said multiple times, these guys all have the exact same setup, the exact same equipment. So, yeah, he is definitely making that bottom side work. I'm just kind of curious if he showed his weapon a little bit too early, but I think we only got about 5 laps to go.
Yep, 6 I'm showing here. I'm showing 19. And actually, on the grid that I'm looking at with the results, it actually shows Sebeski and Spies. The difference is all zeros. So they must have crossed the line together on that one. But you're right. I mean, did Steven show himself a little too early by going low? And just because Chris Sebeski saw him down there, Jake, doesn't mean that he can go down there and do the same thing. I know it's fixed setups, but if you're not used to running it, it's tough, right?
Yes, it is. And but Michael has going for him though is his restarts, as we see him capture a couple of positions just on the restarts as he just goes all the way down to the bottom side. But we'll see what this 55 does on this green flag down in turn 1 and 2.
You can see Redding kind of going down there too a little bit before the start, maybe a little gamesmanship going on right there, and there's a lot more of that going on than we think about too. I mean, what's one of the old tricks a veteran will use, right? They'll pull up next to the new guy who's leading under yellow, let him see him, and try to get him to make a mistake. It's one of the oldest tricks in the book.
Yep, just like you said, in the old Bristol, you know, sometimes you just want to rattle, you just want to rattle their cage.
Or just get them thinking that, oh, wow, he's on the bottom. He's faster than me. I better go down there, where in a lot of cases, that might not be the situation at all. The pace truck is in. Green flag is out. Let's see what kind of start Sebeski gets. He's been getting some of the best restarts of anybody today. That one probably about average there, as Spies is right there and taking a peek already underneath in turn 2.
You notice him go down to the bottom side to try to block that slide jaw from the 55 if he attempted to throw it.
Yes.
And 55 is dedicated down to the bottom side. Sebeski is dedicated up on the high side as they coming around turn 4 and ticking off another lap.
But you're right. I mean, look what Sebeski does here. He uses kind of the middle for that run, and I think that's exactly for the reason that you're talking about. He's trying to prevent that slide job. So rather than put the blinders on and just focus on what's in front, Sebeski is concerned. Does that make a difference? Oh, caution out with 4 to go. This was getting good.
4 to go, and there you see the different lines and the strategies all being played out, as I think about the 8th place car somewhere around there spun out and stacked up. I'll try to pull up the replay of that wreck.
And this is what happens when a track gets burned off like this. Let's see, somebody got a couple cars down low. Everybody looks okay here so far. Oh, there it is right there.
Yeah, the number 1 machine hit that inside curb, try to get the power back down to the wheels, got a little bit too loose and came right across the field.
Most everybody looked like they made it through there all right, so pretty much a 2-car incident, but we are under caution. Once again, you see Jordan Hills, 28, pulling away there. And again, that all thanks to A&J Custom Creations for their help on the replay stuff here today. 4 laps to go. 2 miles left here at Knoxville.
And you know a slide job is coming. Just how do you block it?
I would think.
How do you defend it?
And when exactly do you do it? Right? Do you
Yeah.
wait till the last lap? Do we? Something's going on with the 55 there, as Steven Spies just went up the racetrack and came to a stop, almost like. Is he gone now?
He went straight to the inside pits. Not exactly sure what happened to the second place guy. The hard charger is into the pits
wow.
with 4 to go.
It almost looked like the steering wheel came loose, or he lost the controller, or something like that. Of course, steering wheels do come off in the non-virtual world too. I had it happen to me one night, and fortunately, nothing bad happened. So now Michael Redding up to second. So this changes things a lot. Kyle Parker now third. Stephen Goldner, who's never out of any race, is sitting there in fourth, and GJ Boydell with the Coke Bear on there in fifth.
Here we go, coming off a turn of 4 laps ago. Will we see a slide job by the second place guy? All red machine as the leader goes down to the bottom to block any slide job. And there in fourth place is Kyle Parker, the 0-13 machine, trying to pick up a lot of momentum.
And down in the bottom, the powder blue car, that's Goldner. But Sebeski did what he needed to do there. He needed one of his best restarts of the race, and he got it. So now the battle for second is a 3-car race between Redding, Parker, and Goldner.
And Redding trying to hold off these 2 guys that have plenty of speed. He's blocking that bottom side, or trying to hold that bottom side. And then you got Kyle Parker way up on the high and scary side, riding along that cushion. Turns 3 and 4, and he is slowly closing in there on second place.
He is too, and also slowly pulling away is Sebeski, as they got the parallel flags that time. 2 more laps to go here in this 25-lap feature. The battle for second is still the best one on the racetrack, as Redding is still trying to get that spot and keep it right now. But Kyle Parker right there. Here we go. We're looking at a 4th place Stephen Goldner, and the caution is out.
Caution is going to wave right before the leader got that white flag, and I jumped on board with Stephen Goldner, and he was definitely feathering that throttle down on the bottom side, but a bad break for our leader as he was just about to come across the line.
Yep, so there will be a 1-lap dash here showing 24 laps complete at this point. And now Sebeski just needs to get that restart just like he's done the last time. He's had a couple of them here that weren't as good. So if Redding's going to have any chance, I think it's going to have to be right off the bat in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think so, but then you got that, but then, you know, you also have the crossover move, and then you'll have the inside down in turns 3 and 4, and you'll be hung out on the outside. So this is where experience definitely comes into play.
Yeah, because if he doesn't get it in 1 and 2, then he's going to have to really just nail all his marks, heading down the backstretch and into turn 3. And, you know, things can still happen out here, too. So Kyle Parker, Stephen Goldner, Jeffrey Barker's kind of snuck his way into the top 5, 19th to 5th for Jeffrey. So I think he might be about the only guy in the top 5 that, well, let's put it this way. I think he's got the biggest smile on his face of anybody in the top 5. How's that?
Yeah, moved up 14 spots. I'll pull that up on the screen. Sitting there in 5th place, Jeffrey Barker. As we just seen that caution, a little bit of room, or some guys running out of room, hauling the mail down the backstretch and collected some cars.
So we'll see what happens. And I notice, look at Redding's already right up on Sebeski here as they get ready to go. He wants him to try to think about something. I always like this speed shot down in the bottom of the track, because that's a shot you never get in the non-virtual world, because that camera wouldn't last very long, would it?
No, that lens would be broken very soon, but getting ready to rock and roll. Sebeski, can he hold on to this A main? I think he's led almost just about every lap. Started on pole as he takes a white flag down turns 1 and 2.
It's his to lose at this state of the game. He has a 3/10 margin already. He's up to the top side as they head to turn number 3. Goldner's trying for 3rd on the inside of Parker, but this one looks like it's going to be all Chris Sebeski as he leads, coming across the line.
And the race is for that last podium spot. It looks like Kyle Parker is going to capture the checkered flag for 3rd place. Michael's 2nd. Like you said, Sebeski dominated race, started on pole, finished in 1st, and he is going to be the A main winner here in the dirt late models at Knoxville.
Of course, top 10 advanced to the big championships on Monday. So Sobeski, Redding, Parker, Goldner, Barker, Shaw Jr., Boydell, Mooney, Gregory, and Hess will all make it into that. I also wanted to give a shout out. We mentioned Jeffrey Barker, but also Stephen Gregory, 22nd to 9th. Kyle Mooney, 21st to 8th. So good job by those guys. Matthew Croak, 24th to 11th, just outside the top 10. So some people avoided wrecks and got themselves some good finishes here.
Yeah, they did. And sometimes you just gotta have that little bit of racing luck. And moving up 13 spots, you definitely did what you needed to do.
A lot of times, yeah, people will look at the finish and say, "Well, there's only one guy who was really happy here," and that's not true. I guarantee you, Jeffrey Barker's smiling, 19th to 5th. So, a great job, everybody around. Preston Cranmer has joined us here in the booth. He is going to tell us who our top Epsilon Sprint Reps driver is. Who is it, Preston?
Yeah, so that was a pretty entertaining one. I thought you guys were gonna end up interviewing Spees again. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but
No.
Redding was right there with him, and he was able to bring it home second. So here's Michael Redding for you.
Michael Redding in the booth with us. Second place run for him. Started in 4th. He is the Epsilon Sprint driver, the top Epsilon Sprint Reps driver in the top 3. Well, tell me about things. How was it out there, Michael? Did you have anything for Chris there on those last couple of restarts?
I had something for him earlier, but not late. He definitely had it rolling. I was just hanging on there at the end.
What do you think was the key? Was it getting out front first? Was it the way he was restarting? What was the biggest thing that he did right to get to victory lane?
I have no idea. He checked all the boxes that he needed to do. So, um, if I could have stayed in front of him on that one time that I did get in front of him, I think I could have held on to it. But man, he was just rolling.
He really was rolling. Did you try that inside lane at all? Like we saw Steven Spees running there for a little bit?
No, I didn't try it till I seen everybody go down there, and I was afraid I was going to get freight trained. So I went down there and started blocking all I could to hang on.
So it went from trying for the win to trying to hold on for second, just like that, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I could have went up there and probably slammed the cushion and seen what happened on that final restart, but I was just content just to finish in the top 3.
Well, congratulations. Nice run. He is the top Epsilon Sprint Reps driver. Who would you like to say thank you to, Michael?
I got to thank Epsilon for the great wrap. Ford's Gun and More, Batesville, Arkansas. Tidy Services of Batesville, Arkansas. Hot Pit Media. Everybody at Gambler Motorsports. Good run for my other team. My team driver for my personal team, Eva Motorsports, Stephen Gregory. I think he got locked in tonight. So all around,
Yes, he did.
Just appreciate everybody.
Stephen got 9th place, too. Nice job, Michael. Good talking to you, man. Good job.
Appreciate it.
Where's that Arkansas accent? I like that right there, Jake.
Yeah, you definitely got the southern thing going on.
Yeah, you get down Arkansas, Georgia, areas like that. It's a whole different deal like that. Kyle Parker was 3rd. We're hoping he's going to join us here in just a moment. And there he is. Kyle finished 3rd, started 3rd. How was it?
It was good in the beginning, man. There was a lot of high side driving, but then at about the middle of the race, they started getting a little two lines, and I actually went down low to get by my teammate DJ Boydell for 3rd. And then after that, I was just doing a little bit mid slider line in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It was fun. It was definitely fun racing with those guys up front, man. We were neck and neck, 3 wide, 2 wide. You know what I mean? It was awesome.
We're watching you in slow motion. I love watching you on that high line. How tough is it to stay above the cushion like that, stay in the brown, and not run into that wall?
It's tough. If you get it, if you're going a little too hot, you're definitely hit that wall and it'll straighten you out. So, I mean, it's definitely takes a little bit of throttle control skill, but if you can get it down, it's fun. I love running the high side. You won't see me often down low.
Now, how tough was that to adjust? Because we were doing some in-car stuff in the heat races. You guys had it boarded flat to the mat, as they like to say. Is it tough as a driver as you have to adjust with your right foot over the course of 25 laps?
Yeah, I definitely would say so. Get your little calf cramps, the throttle control. But for the most part, that if it stays tacky up there, the high side, I mean, you can let off, set the car, and then you can get back on about middle of the turn, all the way throughout it. So the low side is where you got throttle control, especially with it being so slick. You're on and off, on and off. You know what I mean? About 50, 40%.
I love watching these cars in slow motion through the corners.
Oh,
Kyle,
they're awesome.
anybody you want to say thanks to? You had a great
Yep.
job tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, I got to thank Spartan Racing as well. You know, those guys are awesome, man. And every week, those guys we're putting on a show. You know, we try as much as we can to get better, practice. You know, run time trials or whatever we want to do. But I got to thank those guys, man, for everything they do. Got to thank my wife, as always, for letting me do this and not getting too upset at me and taking care of our 2-year-old. And then you guys for broadcasting, and then GeForce for putting this all together. This charity event, man, is awesome. It ain't nothing better than this.
And Spartan did sponsor the heat races too, so thanks to your team for that.
Yep.
Good
Oh,
job.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Only one more guy to chat with, and he'll be joining us right now, Chris Sabeski. Are we saying that right, Chris? Have I got it right finally?
I think you've dialed it in, my man.
There we go. Boy, just on the outside, looked like your restarts were a big key. Was that one of the big reasons you were able to win this race and stay out front in all those late cautions?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it was a caution-filled race. You know, we had a few green stretches there for a while, but a lot of restarts tonight. And ultimately, being out front led me through the race. I don't know if I would have been hanging up front if I was in the back or like in the middle, even battling for position. So, starting order was definitely crucial.
Weatherby Photography, by the way, is helping us out with the victory lanes here tonight. So how do you get those restarts and not spin your tires? Because I mean, there were some of them you were a half a second up by the time you got to turn 2. And I know you don't want to tell everybody what the key was, but can you tell me anything?
I don't want to let the cat out of the bag too much, but
I get it.
Just in the positioning of the car and deciding when you're going to take off. I mean, trying to catch guys sleeping a little bit without, you know, getting out of the starting box and things like that. But there's a couple things I try to work with. But yeah, I mean, I had some really stout, fast guys behind me. Starting up front was key. I was worried there. I was getting pulled on by Steven there for a while. I don't know what happened to him. He decided to pull off the track there. And, you know, Michael ran a great race behind me. Kyle, those guys they're strong drivers, man. So I was very fortunate tonight.
I noticed that you changed your lineup a little bit there towards the end, started going a little lower on the entrance. Was that in an effort to take that slide job away, or were you just trying to see if there was something down there maybe you should be looking at?
Well, right before one of the cautions came out, Steven was pulling on me on the low side there. I think he ran a tenth or maybe even a tenth and a half faster than me for a lap or two. And then after we got back under caution, I just decided I was going to try and see if there was, you know, something I could make work on a different line. Made the adjustment. It seemed like it was working for me, so stuck to it right through the end.
Very nice. Thank yous for you, Chris. And again, congratulations on the win.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank my wife, my partner at Velocity Race Design, Ross Corinta. You guys need a paint, give him a shout.
Yeah.
And gonna send a special thanks to my pops. I ran his old late model design tonight, so that's a little bit of a tribute to him. So you know, he's obviously the whole reason where I got into racing as a kid. So yeah, just a shout out to the fam and you boys for putting this show on, and you know, GeForce for hosting the league. It's always a pleasure.
Do you have real world experience in a late model, Chris?
I myself do not.
Okay.
It's just it was a family thing up until I was little. So, but grew up around the track and I've always loved it. Wish I could be in a car, but just don't have the means at the time.
Well, obviously it's in his blood, and he used that to get the win tonight. Congratulations again, Chris.
Thanks, really appreciate it.
So that will do it for this race. Of course, Jake Fluman with me right now. Any thoughts on what we just saw, Jake?
Big change from the start of the race, from Heat 1 really to the A main. Of course, I mean the track slicked off, but just talking about the A main, it is definitely the high line. Looked like it was going to be the fastest way around this place, but then that bottom side of the 55, man, he was really making it work, and then it looks like a lot of people just kind of followed him right down to that inside berm.
It was a great race. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned. We'll be back with race number 4 of the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Triple Crown charity event. It will be 360 sprints right here at Knoxville. For everyone here at GeForce TV, Doug Elkins and, of course, Jake Fluman, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in just a few moments.